Hi everyone, WebMeridian here. Today we're diving into one of the most critical topics in e-commerce SEO, the right structure for an online store. We'll cover a bit of theory, go over the most common mistakes, and I'll show you what needs to be done to ensure your online store attracts customers through search. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave your questions in the comments below. Let's get started. An e-commerce website structure is similar to a house's foundation. A website structure determines how pages rank in search results and how user-friendly the site is. Much like a building's foundation determines how long it will last and how secure its residents are. What is the structure of an online store? It is a scheme that visualizes all the pages of an online store, showing their hierarchy and the connections between them. Why is this topic so important? In short, if the structure of your online store is incomplete or contains errors, you could be losing 70–80% of your traffic. We recently published a video that supports this claim, and I recommend checking it out.
Did you know that 95% of online stores miss out on 3/4 of their search traffic? It happens due to mistakes made by site owners or developers during the launch stage, and it doesn't matter what platform or technology the online store was built on. Sounds unlikely? We'll back it up with proof. 80% of all search queries are queries with second and higher levels of detail. To demonstrate what I mean, let's take a look at these examples. Search query T-shirts for men has a specification by gender. This is the first level of detail. Search query print T-shirts for men has a specification by both style and gender. This is already the second level of detail. And finally, the 3D level would be something like a red V-neck T-shirt for men, where we have specifications by color, types of neckline and gender, all at once. Therefore, when people search for something, 80% of the time they tend to use search queries with a level of detail that is second or higher. And if you're an online shop owner and ignore this fact, it means you're getting only 20% of the website traffic and losing 80%. Crazy. For users, such queries are important and very helpful because they convey to the search engine what specifically a user needs, thereby saving the user's browsing time. For online store owners, such queries provide an opportunity to quickly reach the top 10 positions on Google. Why? The more specific the query, the lower the competition in the search results because many websites have technical issues that prevent them from appearing on the search result page. Let's take a closer look at the t-shirt example I've just mentioned. Google won't display your site for red men's t-shirts unless you have a specific page dedicated solely to men's red t-shirts. For this, your website needs a separate page, also known as subcategory, with relevant page title and description, relevant HTML tag, relevant products and content, including SEO content, FAQ, and reviews. A category containing all men's t-shirts won't be relevant in this scenario, both for users looking for red men's t-shirts and for search engines. Surprisingly, the proper website structure is found in just 5% of all online stores. But what's holding back the other 95%? The main reason is no functionality of the online store, which would make it possible to create separate pages for product characteristics like color, size, etc. Also, you might have set everything up right, but there's a number of errors that block the display of such pages in the search results. This is already the second level of detail. To better grasp the idea, let's use an example. Let's get back to the search query, red men's t-shirt. There is a site which has a category with all t-shirts for men. This category includes 6 red t-shirts, which can be filtered accordingly. But the site won't show up for specific searches red men's t-shirt, because this website has no subcategory for red men's t-shirt. Filters like red generate dynamic page URLs that are not indexed by search engines as an individual page. And it's easy to check. This is a Google operator that displays the most relevant page for a specific search query. In our case, when the search query red men's t-shirt is entered, the site doesn't feature a relevant page. As a result, Google displays a collection containing all available t-shirts. Finally, what needs to be done to attain the highly desired 80% of traffic you might be missing? No stress, no problem. It's all straightforward. Just 3 steps needed. 1. Collect and analyze search queries to understand how users search for your products. 2. Create a structure of relevant pages while adhering to the hierarchy, including categories and subcategories. 3. Implement the correct structure of the online store technically. So, do you still feel like you don't know where to start? Our team works both with custom-built online stores and sites that are built on CMS. Follow the link in description to learn more about us.
Now, let's move on to implementing the correct structure for an online store. To build this structure, SEO filters are used. This functionality on the site allows you to generate separate groups of products as individual pages and interlink them with each other. Let's look at an example of how they work. A category with men's t-shirts includes a filter section. Each color filter option contains a link to a relevant page. When a user checks the box for a color, the relevant page loads, containing an appropriate heading, SEO text, metadata, and products. Another way to implement the structure is through simple interlinking via the menu. Here's an example of this approach. We see a sidebar menu with items for subcategories. There's also a filter section, but in this case the filters generate results through dynamic URLs that are not indexed by Google as separate pages. Now let's move on to the mistakes. The first mistake is when filters generate results through dynamic URLs. Let's look at an example. We go to the menu, select the color, and confirm the filter activation. We see that a dynamic tail is added to the URL. For the search engine, this is not a separate page, but just an additional version of the main category. In the code, we can see that the canonical attribute contains the URL of the main category. Because of this, the site won't appear in searches where the user specifies color, size, etc. The second mistake concerns SEO filters. When any page contains a link to itself, it's an error. In the example I already showed, we can see that the subcategories contain links to themselves in the filter section. To avoid this mistake, a condition should be set. The checkbox should not contain a link to the relevant page if that page is being loaded, or the link should be replaced with the main category link. The third mistake involves the canonical tag. Here's a good example. We select a color and a separate page loads. The URL does not contain a dynamic tail. However, the canonical tag contains the URL of the main category. As a result, this subcategory is not indexed in search and does not generate users searching for blue t-shirts ladies. In this example, such subcategories should have their own versions of canonical URLs and contain unique, relevant content, including metadata, headings, and SEO texts. How is the structure of an online store built? 4 steps for full implementation. Search query research. Search query grouping structure modeling. Implementing the structure first, we learn how our target audience searches for our products. Then we group the search queries. Based on these groups, we visualize the structure. The final step is implementing the structure on the website. That's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. Feel free to send us questions via email or leave them in the comments. See you next time.